Get ready to leap into action with the 2022 Water Tiger with the 12 animal signs of the zodiac. The first success tip that I'd like to share with you is to know yourself. Learn strategies to play your best strengths and be aware of the obstacles of the year. For you newbies, hi, welcome to my channel. And for you seasoned students and followers, welcome back. Hi, my name is Kathleen Horvath-Zemansky. I'm a business feng shui master, astrologer, and the creator of the Time Blazer business management system. So when you're watching this series, there's something that I really want you to take note of. You are much more than the year of whatever you were born in, that you also have information that is critical to knowing more about how you operate with the month of birth, the day of birth, and the hour of birth if you know it. This is a reason why we find out these things at the beginning of the year, to play your strengths and just be aware of the weaknesses of 2022. I also encourage and advise for you to watch all of the animals in the series because they're going to be relating to the months of the year as well as other tips that I'm going to be giving along the way. So the first thing you need to do is go to www.freebusinessastrology.com to calculate not only your birth chart, but your birthright, to unlock the keys to your true potential and to leap into action to this fast-paced Water Tiger year. All right, who are my dogs this year? Go ahead and put in the chat below if you're a year, month, day, or hour of the dog. So this is my ranking of the animal this year, and it will have 3 stars. But before we go there, let's make sure you understand that the dog has different attributes and different pillars of your astrology chart. So for example, if you have a dog in your year, then it's going to affect the people that you hang out with. So make sure you're hanging out with the right people. You got 3 stars, so let's see if we can really move that up the scale a little bit. So you might have to let a few go, but bring in people who support you, who believe in you, who actually will have the capacity to talk about you so that you can be successful. That's what the year is about. It's also about your market expansion, your marketing efforts, and how you're getting your message across to other people in besides your own company, if you will. So this is expanding it out. Sometimes it's who you know, not what you know. Your career is about your month. Your month of birth will tell you things like what you're best suited at doing. It will also indicate your character. So, is there any improvements that you need to do there? Look at the month of birth. That will help facilitate that answer. The day of birth is about you. I feel it is so important for self-care, especially if you are a dog, especially if the dog shows up in your day of birth, because the dog tends to have some health issues in general, and it's sort of amplified if it's in the day of birth. But anywhere, or if you have multiple dogs, then it can kind of start stacking up for you, if you will. But it is about your day of birth is about your self-care. So self-care is truthfully one of the number one thing, lifelong things I would advise to anyone who has a dog in their chart. So it's just staying on top of it. This is not about fear-based, it's about knowledge and empowerment. So it is also about your personal growth, and it is also about your partnerships. Your hour of birth. If you know your hour of birth, it is about your goals, your legacy, and it is also about your investments. Now, some of you I know are not happy that you don't know your hour of birth, but you know what? Your year, month, and day tells you a huge picture already, 75%. So let's look at what we do have versus what we don't. All right, let's go on to what attributes and what challenges the dog is going to encounter in 2022. All right, first let's look at some of these favorable energies. One, we have advancement. So this is really beautiful for, potential promotions, elevating your status. Now, especially if that dog is in that year or month, that's more the exterior of your chart. You have really a great chance of taking your business to the next level. You're going to grab the attention of influencers, decision makers. So put your best foot forward. So this is also good if you are thinking about honing a skill, potentially changing your career path entirely, that you need a new skill. You're going to be able to advance quite quickly through any type of study that you're going to be doing. So it's going to take a little bit of effort on your part, but it will be worth it if you study the right thing and you put into practice what you study. Obviously, there's value in that, right? And you can and should be paid for it. Now, this next one, ingenuity, I love it because it's really an inspirational year for creativity. And so if you're already a creative, an artist, a graphic designer, or feel that you're already creative, it's just going to ramp up if you have a dog in your chart. And for those of you who feel that you who don't feel like you're creative, you don't have a creative bone in your body, I don't believe it. It's probably because you can learn anything, right? So, if you've ever wanted to learn how to dance or draw, paint, sculpt, anything that is going to get you out of just like this headspace and into a creative space, getting in the outdoors and just moving around, it's just, what I would suggest is for those who feel like they don't have creativity within them, buy yourself a journal and buy a nice one, like chronicle the year. And what I want you to do is every day just write 1 or 2 lines of something that you did, that you tried creatively. And, and then look up and then try to maybe do a little sketch. It will be incredible how your creativity is really going to just crack open and flow. And that's the key. We want to get that Kundalini energy. That's that energy, that creative energy flowing. So equate the creativity to money is how I want you to think about it. When you get that going, there's an inner happiness that happens. Yes, frustration too, because not every day is going to be perfect, as we know. But you know what? When you put a little bit of effort into something that you've always wanted to do anyway, or thought about doing, or if you've ever said, I wish I could, and you fill in the blank, this is the year to go ahead and try it and do it in a creative way to try it, okay? All right, so also unconventional learning, which there is a plethora of those out on the internet right now, online courses, that kind of thing. But again, try to choose something that is going to help you be more in the flow and creative, okay? All right, and then we'll talk about the triple harmony in a slide or two coming up. So then I'm going to talk about the unfavorable. So the unfavorable energies this year, we've got injuries. So you do need to throttle it back a little bit when it comes to extreme sports. It's not a good idea, especially if you have a dog in general. A dog is one of those animals that tend to have more health-related issues in general over the life of their lifespan. So you really want to not add, something that's already we know that's already problematic for you. So it would be better that you avoided any extreme sports, and also be very cautious of metal-related objects. Now, wherever you see, metal-related injuries, this could be where you do either donate your blood and or do a blood panel of some sort, where you're actually like making blood flow and you're doing it on purpose. That's a traditional way that they say that you can, help relieve the negative energies. I do a blood panel every year, kind of right after the first of the year. So, that's what you actually want to do is really look at trying to get, you direct the blood flow versus it being in the form of an accident or something like that. Okay. All right. So then you also have reckless to boot. So you also have this kind of like, oh, I'm just tired of it. The heck with it. I'm just gonna, blow it off, and you end up being reckless. So like daredevil stuff is you're only hurting yourself. So you do need to watch your health this year. You do need to watch out for accidents and sort of irresponsible behavior that you are doing to yourself. Like weaving in and out of traffic and things like that. That is not a good idea. And if somebody's kind of doing that to you, just let them pass by. Just let it go. So you do need to watch that a little bit. Okay. All right. Let's look at the animals that the dog fares the best with, which is a rabbit. Now, when you go with those combination animals, life typically is easier than harder. So this is an animal that you want, if you have a rabbit in your chart or a dog, those two are the best friends. All right, our triple harmony. We have to have at least one of these in our chart. And the other way we can bring the triple harmony together, if you need or want fire, that is, you need to bring in the horse, the tiger, or the dog. Now, again, this is a little bit advanced, but for those of you who are ready for this piece of it, if not, don't worry. Hopefully one day you will be ready for this information. But what I want to say is you look at your chart, your natal chart. Right below the natal chart, there's something that's called a 5-element structure that looks very much like this dial, but with your information on it. And then you look for the red, which is fire. Is it networks, creation, wealth? Is it your power, or is it your resources? Potentially you don't have any red, which means you don't have any fire in your chart. So then that's a different strategy of how we would bring it about. All right, so who does not get along with the dog is the dragon. They do not like each other at all. So there could be a conflict. And these two actually, they're like two mountains, if you will. So these two mountains are, kind of side by side, not bothering each other. And then all of a sudden there's something that clashes with them, and it's like a big eruption, like a big either earthquake, avalanche, volcano, whatever. It's just a big blow up. So it doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's not pleasant. So try to avoid any arguments with fellow dragons or dogs, because it's not pretty. Okay, so let's look at the month of October, which starts on October the 8th in 2022. The Time Blazer system is based on the 12 animals of the zodiac, and the key here, even though you're seeing just a standard and only one view, which is the month view, but why I bring this in is that what I provide for you and my clients is the holistic system of person, space, time, and universe. Person is the astrology that we just talked about. We talk about the feng shui. We talk about the Time Blazer, because the Time Blazer is it has all the same components of 5 elements, yin and yang, chi flow in the day. That's why it's important to match your activity with what you want to do, and then you can trigger a nice flow of energy. It's a phenomenal system, but you want to use the green days to help with your endeavors. And then the other days, what you do is you don't launch something very important on those days. You do the legwork, if you will, that every business owner has to do, but those real important, juicy green days, you save them for your important activities. Are you ready to take the next step in crafting your destiny? Then you're going to want to download our 2022 Feng Shui Toolkit, where you can find our annual Feng Shui and Flying Star Compass styles to superimpose over your accurate floor plan. Feng Shui is the methodology to help you achieve your goals, and the annual Water Tiger energies are going to help you achieve them faster. Now that you know what to do astrologically, it's time to get assistance from Feng Shui to get yourself pointed in the right direction to leap into action. And we'd love to provide those tools for you for free. Just click on the link below for our 2022 Feng Shui Toolkit. Remember to listen to the rest of the animals in the series by clicking also the link 2022 Water Tiger, the 12 Power Animals. And while you're at it, please hit that subscribe button and smash that bell so you don't miss any of our feng shui, astrology tips, and more. We'd certainly appreciate it if you liked what you heard. Hit the like button. And if you really liked what you heard, go ahead and leave a comment and share with other like-minded people. We would be so honored for your following. And may this year of the Water Tiger be filled with good health, peace, and life-fulfilling goals come true.